Now the Spirit of the Lord is the one that speaks through me. Before my mother's womb, he ordained and knew me, ransomed me, and placed his words upon my tongue. Few are chosen, rest assured that I am one, an ambassador for Christ, his beloved son. And by his word, let souls be one. So welcome everyone to this listening party. Sit back and let your souls be hearty. Celebrate with me the gift that God has imparted. And what better way to get this party started than to give him the stage, because he knows where your heart is. Holy Spirit, you are welcome in this place. Give me the boldness to look upon each face and speak every word that you've given me to say. With no fear, I speak truth. I won't deviate, and I'm confident that all will go great. So let your presence saturate this place. I breathe in your spirit, I intake a river full of life, water in every dry place. As I flow to the notes that heaven navigates, let it bless every listener and free them today. Let the truth of your word draw souls to be saved. Let the comforter comfort hearts today, and let the light of your word show them the way. Every time I write, I tell his story as I bask in the truth of his word before me. He opens up to me and shows me his glory. He gives me the strength to keep on soaring, and when I open up my mouth, for him I'm roaring. And the Spirit of the Lord goes before me, to the captive set free, that's reassuring. Over the years he strengthened my inner core, and every day I wake up just seeking him more. Am I ready for this? In my spirit I'm sure. I am in Christ and my Father I adore. He redeemed me from destruction, I am his ambassador. As the world turns and open up the door, I step in with purpose to win souls for the Lord. Every time I write, I tell a story as I bask in the truth of his word before me. Every time I write, I tell a story as I bask in the truth of his word before me. Every time I write, I tell a story as I bask in the truth of his word before me. Every time I write, I tell a story as I bask in the truth of his word before me. Every time I write, I tell the story as I bask in the truth of his word before me.
Hey, welcome to Tom the Bomb Sports Talk, the fastest growing show in the world. It's Monday, March 30th, and this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. If you don't think it's a great day, just try missing one. And we, LOVE, love sports and the Word of God on the Tom the Bomb Show. Hey, gang, yes, we're live on Facebook and YouTube. Welcome to our new starting time, guys. 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, and 4 p.m. Pacific. That's our new starting times. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Hey, gang, you guys can contact us by email at info@tomthebombsports.com. That's info@tomthebombsports.com. And of course, we're always, you can visit our website at www.tomthebombsports.com. Hey, gang, we'd like to personally thank you guys for your prayers and your support to contribute to the show and our ministry. We sincerely thank you. And with that, we appreciate your patronage. You can bless us to keep creating compelling content and spreading the word of God. Our business cash app here is hashtag $Tom the Bomb Sports Talk. That's $Tom the Bomb Sports Talk. We sincerely thank you, and may God bless you 100-fold return on the seed that you sow into our ministry at the Tom the Bomb Show. Thank you. As usual, we want to start off by thanking God for all the wonderful things that he's doing for us in 2026, this new year. Everything he did for us in the past, the new things. We're talking about the new things, Felix, the new things that are happening in 2026. And our theme for 2026 is still the year of discovery for grace for beyond in 2026. To infinity and beyond, Troy. So we can be transformed to a level that none of us have walked in before. And 2026 can truly be the best year of your life. Our foundational scripture, because you got to have a foundation, our foundational scripture, Felix, for 2026 is found in 2 Peter 3:18. And this is the Good News Translation Bible. And it says, but continue to grow in the grace and the knowledge of our Lord Jesus Christ. To him be the glory now and forever. To God be the glory. Right, Dad? Yep, yep, yep. Hey, gang, I'm pleased to announce our Community Hope Center at VCCI, we've started our grocery distribution program where we're feeding 50 families. Sorry, we're feeding 50 families in the designated zip codes on the third Saturday of each month at 11 a.m. Eastern. And our location is at 7-7 Metropolitan Court, and that's in Gaithersburg, Maryland. The zip code there is 20878, and it's open to all the residents of the following zip codes. That's 20877, that's 20878, 20879, 20855, and 20882. And anyone that lives in Montgomery Village Avenue, that's Troy's dumping grounds. And it comes on a first come, first served basis while supplies last. You can scan the QR code to register, or you can also register on site. But all participants must complete a registration form, please, 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 please. Hey, our goal is to work up to 100 families soon. So be in agreement with us that we get to this goal. Okay. We want to be a blessing to our community that we serve. And not this week. It's not Easter this week, right?
Yes, it is on Sunday the 5th.
Hey, it's Resurrection Sunday. So, hey,
Resurrection week.
Tom the Bomb, just want to get this out there. Listen, guys, come on out to Victory, man, and get the word, man. Come on out and check this out. You guys don't want to miss this. I'm putting it out there. I didn't want to go out and hand them out like a lot of people at our church. So I'm doing. I'm cheating, Felix. I'm going viral. I'm going social with mine. So you guys come on out Sunday and enjoy your word on Easter Sunday, on Resurrection Sunday. Amen. All right. Hey, listen, our trivia question. We got trivia. You guys ready for the trivia question? Felix, Troy?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. Our trivia question today is, you ready for this, Felix?
All right.
Okay. I'm purposely trying to get Felix, you know. Our trivia question is, who was the first NBA player to make $1 million in a single season? Who was the first NBA player to make $1 million in a single season? You guys roll that over. We're going to come back to that later in the show. Who was the first NBA player to make $1 million in a single season? Let's get to our poll question from last week, guys. Our poll question from last week is the men's NCAA Big Dance Tournament of 68 the best sporting event of the year? And we said, weigh in and tell us what you think. And man, I'm so pleased the people really rouse up and responded. So, Felix, 43% said that the big dance was the best sporting event all year long. 43%. What are you guys thinking about that?
This calendar year?
Yeah, that's the people that responded to the poll, Felix. 43% of them said that the big dance was the best sporting event, period. What's your thought?
Yeah, I'd say yeah. You know, the Super Bowl this year wasn't competitive.
We're not talking.
So far,
We're not talking about Felix. We're not talking about any particular Super Bowl. We're talking about the sporting event because these sporting events are different every year. Troy, you with me, Troy?
yeah, yeah, and I don't agree with it.
Okay, well, 43%.
Yeah,
Okay, 43% said the big dance was the best sporting event. Let me break this down for you. 31% said that the Super Bowl was the best sporting event. 13%, Felix, said the World Cup was the best sporting event. 8% said the NBA playoffs. They didn't say the championship. They said the NBA player. They kind of made it clear that it was all of the NBA playoffs. 8% said the NBA playoffs, and only 5% of you said that the Major League Baseball World Series was the top sporting event. But what's your guys' thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on that? Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say I know you didn't like that last stat. 5% said the World Series, but I would say this. I would kind of understand it to an extent. Not again, I don't agree with it at all, but I kind of understand that there's something about the NCAA tournament,
Mhm.
people, the unpredictable nature of it, and these games usually don't go as planned. These games are dramatic. Not to mention, it's really the atmosphere, the way
Mhm.
the crowd is into it, because the way they're chanting, everyone in there, they're rooting for their school. There's a certain sense of connection and pride they have, that's closely tied to their identity. So I think a lot of it's atmospheric, and
Oh,
that's kind of like a psychological aspect that adds to it that you don't really get out of other sporting events. And here's the thing about the Super Bowl that people don't want to admit: a lot of people who go to the Super Bowl are neutral fans. They're people who are not fans of one team or another. A lot
mhm,
of them are celebrities that kind of don't care.
mhm.
So that's something that you see in March Madness that coming from a football fan who thinks Super Bowl is an event's number one, you don't get that atmosphere because, again, the thing with the Super Bowl, a lot of people who are at that event, they don't care about the game as much as you or I do.
Mhm. Well, Felix, in the atmosphere, what sports is about, Troy, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, atmosphere is huge. I think just based off of what we all personally like, of course, football, the Super Bowl is going to be up there, but don't sleep on the World Cup. The World Cup, from a general numbers population, is much higher than most people like than a lot of people think. So
It is.
I would say you got the Super Bowl, then you got the World Cup, then March Madness. I'll put it in that order in
Okay.
particular.
All right.
March
Well,
Madness is still very important and very electric, but a lot of people don't really chime into college basketball until March Madness.
mhm.
So, I would look at it as Super Bowl, World Cup, and then March Madness.
Well, it came in right behind the Super Bowl, and I don't know how many soccer fans we got watching out there, but it came in right after the Super Bowl. Let's get to this week's poll question. You guys are going to like this one. Listen, this week's poll question is, Troy, if injuries had never happened, which one of these
Mm-mm-mm.
NBA players would have been the best? And we want you guys to vote on this. A is Penny Hardaway. B is Derrick Rose. C is Grant Hill. D is Tracy McGrady, and E is Brandon Roy. Troy, if these NBA players' careers hadn't been cut short by injuries, which one of these guys you think would have had the best career? Penny Hardaway, Derrick Rose, Grant Hill, Tracy McGrady, or Brandon Roy?
As bad as I want to say Derrick Rose, man, it's Tracy McGrady.
Okay.
It's not close. As good as Penny and Grant Hill was, I was a little before my time in regards to really chiming in to watch basketball. So I'm not going to flaunt and act like I saw them through their primes. I really didn't. But one thing I do know is I saw T Mac, and I know that T Mac in his prime was giving Kobe everything he couldn't handle.
Mhm,
Kobe was going out and back at him though,
mhm.
but defensively, can't nobody in the league do anything with a prime Tracy McGrady in Orlando. And
Okay.
then when he got to Houston, when he started to lose his bounce a little bit and wasn't as electric at the rim, he became a sniper from the 3-point line as well. So I look at it as complete game, 6'8", run the floor, pure athlete in his prime. If he don't get hurt, I say he gets a couple rings under his belt.
Okay. Felix, who do you like? Penny Hardaway, A, Derrick Rose, B, Grant Hill, C, Tracy McGrady, D, or Brandon Roy, E? What's your thoughts, Felix?
Mm. I would I would want to say Derrick Rose, but the thing is that he was playing with Chicago. I mean, if you're talking about career success in terms of win losses or playoff success, I can't go with Derrick Rose. But if you talk about individual stats, yeah, I mean, I would definitely side with Rose on that one. That's actually a tough question. I mean, I would say McGrady is another person to consider, but he was in a point at the NBA that was really highly competitive. So, I mean, you're talking the 2000s. You still have LeBron. I mean, LeBron at that point, obviously Kobe, so on and so forth. So that's a good question. But like overall, to make it short, I'd say Derrick Rose in terms of like individual success. That's really all I can judge.
Now, Now, bro, one thing I'll say to that, bro, I totally agree with you in the fact that Vince Carter, T Mac, Dwayne Wade, Kobe, like Manu Ginobili, Rip Hamilton. You got all these shooting guards during that era that you had to go against. It was a treat to see him, go head to head with them guys the night in and night out.
Felix, you crack me up, man. You're not a Democrat. You're not a Republican. Felix ain't gonna offend nobody, man. Guys, it's Derrick Rose. Y'all out of sight of y'all mind, man. Which one of them was MVP? Y'all outside of y'all mind. It's Derrick, but hey, everybody got it. But that's the poll. We want to know what you guys think out there. So let us know in the comments on Facebook, on YouTube. Let us know it's A, Penny Hardaway, B, Derrick Rose, C, Grant Hill, D, Tracy McGrady, and E, Brandon Roy. Nobody's really talking about Brandon Roy, but boy, oh boy, it would have been really interesting if he hadn't had his degenerative knee issues. But we want to know what you guys see. Troy likes Tracy McGrady. I like him too. We don't know who Felix want. Look, I'll tell you what Felix want. Felix want prenup. Prenup is not on the list, Felix. so, that's our poll question for the week. Okay, guys and gals, we're starting the show off with the subject that Tommy, Troy, or Felix really don't even want to talk about. But hey, we got to talk about it, and that's Tiger Woods, man. Tiger driving all over the place, man. Tiger was arrested and booked into Martin County Jail in Florida on Friday night, March 27th of 2026, on charges of driving under the influence DUI. He was charged with property damage and refusal to submit to tests following a single car rollover crash. He was released on bail shortly before midnight. The 15-time major champion was arrested after his SUV clipped a trailer and rolled onto its side near his Jupiter Island home. A breathalyzer test showed no alcohol, but Sheriff John Buznick, I mean, that's just like the perfect name in Florida. Buznick, that had to be his name. You can't make that up. Stated that Woods appeared lethargic and impaired, likely from medication or drugs, and refused a urine test. Woods was held for the required 8 hours, separated from other inmates for his safety before being released. This incident follows a 2017 arrest where he pleaded guilty to reckless driving after a mix of medications and a serious 2021 rollover crash. Thankfully, no injuries were reported in the crash. Listen, man, Tiger got too much money to be driving around. Okay, fellas. Troy, jump on this one.
I mean, he does have a driver. He got a tailor made. It's pretty nice too. Not gonna lie.
You funny guy. Did you see that he gonna hire John Daly as his driver?
You know what? He better off driving himself. What's interesting about this is he didn't have any alcohol in the system, so it's like really you can't really tell if he was really impaired or not. And his refusal to do a test doesn't mean that he's necessarily guilty. So this whole scenario is tricky. All I know is it's very unfortunate, and here we are again talking about a Tiger Woods car crash, right? It's the third time. So, uh, it sucks. I hope that this doesn't affect him playing in the Masters, because then that'll make it, very like depressing. And the fact of it's like, yeah, we still got great golfers playing, but come on now, the ratings go up when Tiger's playing. No matter if he's playing good, bad, play a couple holes and dip out, the ratings are going to go up. People want to see him play. So hopefully it don't affect it, but I don't know.
Well, Troy, social media is killing it, man. And they say, Tiger is the best iron player we've ever seen, and he's the most clutch putter, but that his driving has always been reckless. That's what they said on social media. That's what they say on social media. They're killing Tiger. I'm sorry. Felix, what's your thoughts on this one?
Tiger Woods. I mean, he just can't get. It seems like he just can't keep himself out of trouble. Great player, obviously speaking. I mean, I really just don't know what to say about this. I mean, I would say perhaps this sounds passe. It's probably been said 100 times, but like some sort of maybe he should have his own driver, get some sort of counseling, because I think this problem it runs a lot deeper than this one incident, him drinking too much and making a bad decision. I mean, there's no excuse for it, but honestly speaking, I mean, it's either this driving drunk or some sort of issue, extramarital. I mean, it's pointing to something a lot bigger. But I would just say this. I mean, especially right before a major tournament, if I'm not mistaken. And it's really sad just to see how he was the biggest star in golf. I remember when I was really little, I literally thought the sport was called Tiger Woods. He was that's synonymous with the sport. And fast forward, he's probably better known for incidents like this than the actual sport that he plays. So it's really a terrible thing.
Troy.
Yeah.
I thought Felix was getting ready to say Tiger Woods just can't get right. I just knew you.
I
He
mean,
said Tiger he just can't get right.
basically,
Hey man, nobody's happy about this, bro. You are super, super rich. You're not supposed to be driving yourself around. You got too much money. What's up with that, Tiger? All right, let's move on. Get you a driver, Tiger. One you can keep in the fairway.
this is terrible.
Okay, let's let's move on. Okay, let's get to the things we really do want to talk about, and that's the big dance, the NCAA Elite-8 games, and the best game of the tournament so far. UConn defeated Dr. Lawrence Duke Blue Devils 73-72 on the shot of the tournament to advance to the Final Four for an instant. It became an instant March Madness Elite-8 classic. The Blue Devils blew up a 15-point halftime lead as the Huskies advanced to their third Final Four in 4 years on freshman Braylon Mullins' logo. He shot it from the logo three-pointer that gutted all the Blue Devil Nation, just gutted the bled blue all over the place. This tournament remains unparalleled as to why it is the best single event in all of sports. I don't care what nobody says. It's my show. That's what I'm saying. Okay. It has never failed to deliver great moment after moment after moment after moment that we're going to remember forever for years to come. UConn rallied from a 19-point deficit. Duke had this game won. Listen, guys, do you guys realize that Duke led this game for 39 minutes and 59 seconds? Now, how the heck can you get that close to winning and not actually win? The game's only 40 minutes. They led for 39 minutes and 59 seconds. Man, I thought I was watching the Washington Commanders.
Say, you're asking how do you lose like that? I'm a Washington sports fan. I can tell you how.
That's
That's,
that's that's
that was unnecessary.
that's
I'm not even mad. He's right.
That's my point. How do you lose that game and you led for 39 minutes and 59 seconds? They quit on the last second. How close can you come to winning and not actually win? Connecticut was down by 2 with 10 seconds left, attempting to get a steal. UConn's Silas Demery deflected a pass by Duke freshman Caden Boozer at midcourt, and then Braylon Mullins recovered the deflection and bombs away, man. He passes to Alex Cockerman, who gave it right back to Mullins, and he went bucket and drained a 35-footer for the win. He had no options. He had to launch it. And man, that thing didn't hit none but the bottom of the nets. Troy, what's your thoughts on this game?
Uh, well, Duke played like really well in the first half. They had that big lead, and UConn just didn't panic and relied on 3-pointers to get them back into the game. They ran their sets. They ran good on ball options. They ran good off ball options. Um, they made everything seamless, and it brought the crowd and the energy off the bench to get them to another level by upping the intensity. So once the momentum shifted, it was over with. Now, again, like you made a point, 39 minutes, 59 seconds, they were leading. But at the same time, it wasn't like UConn didn't have the momentum even while being down 5 points or more. So I think UConn really handled their biz, cuz balled out.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yes, he
finished
did.
around the rim really well. He dished off when he had to. And I just look at it as UConn, they're used to doing this. They're used to being in the national championship. They're used to, winning and finishing. So why not this year?
Felix, what's your take on this one?
I would say it was another case of making sure that you make sure that you have the game won. So of course you had Duke in the lead, 15 points by halftime, and of course that went away over time. And the thing is, especially when you're going up against a strong opponent, whatever you have to do, whether it's maintaining fatigue, that I mean, not maintaining fatigue, but preventing fatigue, having frequent substitutions, whether you have to adjust, you don't wait for things to go all the way down before you call timeout. You don't wait for things to go all the way down before you make a sub. The minute you start seeing something go wrong, you have to make some type of change. Maybe you have to call it on the fly. Maybe you have to switch from some kind of zone to a press. Whatever you have to do on defense, maybe offense. Maybe on offense, you're trying one way with the basketball, you're passing it around, that's not working. Maybe you have to set up an ISO. Maybe you have to set up a pick and roll. Maybe you have to set up, a back door, whatever it is. If you have to change things up, you do that before it gets all the way out of hand.
Mhm.
And that's pretty much what happened. That's pretty much what you saw. And again, like Duke, you're playing against UConn, one of the best teams out there, two of the best teams out there. You have to bring your A game. It's not just on the players, but as a coach, you have to know what you're up against and you have to know what can go wrong. And that's exactly what happened. So the thing is, I give them credit because it's not as if that they, blew them out after the 15-point win. I've seen that happen to the Wizards countless times this year. But that aside, it was clutch plays, just knowing what to do in the situation and making it happen. That's what you saw for UConn in this one.
Man, poor Caden Boozer. He ain't never gonna live this down. It was a brutal moment for Boozer, who played great. He played great for 99% of the game. Listen, he scored 15 points. He was 4 for 5 shooting from the field. He was 6 for 6 from the free throw line. He had 6 assists, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals. Almost a perfect game, missing only one shot. Listen, guys, experience, like you said, Troy, experience won this game for UConn, and inexperience lost this game for Duke. Hayden's twin brother Cameron played an incredible game, scoring 27 points and was the second man on the court. The first big man was our cousin Terrace Reed Jr., as he led the Huskies with 26 points and literally put the Huskies on his back and kept them in the game until Mullins' game-winning shot. Terrace Reed was uh, a manimal. He was a manimal on that court, man. And Troy and I, we talked about this, man. I love the way that he plays like a true big man. You don't see him messing around the three-point line. He don't go no further than free throw line extended. And when he get the ball at free throw line extended, he's looking for somebody to pass to where he can set a pick and roll to the basket. If you watched him rebound, he went up and rebound with two hands. I mean, man, that is so fun. You think, what's the big deal? That is so fundamental when you see the big man go up and get the ball with two hands, come down with his elbows out. This kid has been fundamentally coached. I was telling Troy, I didn't realize he had transferred from Michigan to UConn. So great game, cuz, man. This was really a good game. Last thing I want to ask you guys, is there blame on Duke's side for this? Is it coaching? Uh, I refuse to blame Caden Boozer. I refuse, because it's a freshman. I refuse to blame him. But here's the thing. All you got to do is get the ball in bounds. You don't have to shoot. All you got to do is dribble around. And the coach was telling them to advance. And my understanding was that he wanted them to advance the ball because on the tie up ball, the arrow went to UConn, and they didn't want him to run over and just try to tie him up. But that's a foul if you cover up the ball. If you go to the free throw line, you up two. All you got to do is make one. Game over. Is this coaching? Is this coaching fault on Duke part, guys? What you guys think?
No.
No, Felix.
No.
Yeah, sometimes, even though I didn't mention coaching, the aspect of it, sometimes it just boils down to the fact that, okay, you just got outplayed. It's not always coaching. Coaching it plays a role. It's a factor, yes, but you're talking about UConn. They're one of the best programs in the country. So obviously speaking, you can even play a perfect game. They can still find a way to come back and beat you. So
Well, despite the great love that I have for my wife, I ain't never been one of those guys that like to see Duke win anyway. But there's no way Duke was supposed to lose this game. There's no way they supposed to lose this game.
you're a real one for saying it right there. I respect that.
There's no way they supposed to lose that. 39 minutes and 59 seconds, man. We ought to start calling them the
Okay, that's the fun one we did today.
Okay, guys.
That's like
Try
the third one.
all right, try to fix. We're right on the money. You guys were right on the money for this next game and picking the fighting Illini. Illini over Iowa 71-59 after beating Houston. They were supposed to get by Iowa, but the score was not indicative of how tough a game this was, man. Illinois didn't take the lead until late in the second half. They advanced to its first national semifinals since the 2005 team, Troy. It was a gritty win on Saturday. Freshman Keaton Wagler played a great game, scoring 25 for the first time since February 10th. Okay. Uh, they finally made a defensive adjustment at halftime and shut down Iowa's star Bennett Sturts. Man, I was steaming watching this game. Like, is somebody gonna cover that guy? Who had 24 points himself. Wagler, freshman sensational season continues as he was named the tournament's most outstanding player, basically MVP of the South region MVP. While Wagler and Andrei Stojakovic, their ability to play through contact, Troy, and finish at the hole was huge. Troy, like we talked about, Illinois finally took the ball to the hole and stopped settling for threes. Freshman David Merkovich had an off night shooting, but he was unstoppable on the boards with 12 rebounds. As this game was decided by it was simply decided Illinois out rebounded Iowa 38-21, including 16, count them, 16 offensive rebounds. Man, when you get that many putbacks, man, offensive rebounds are like turnovers in any sport. You can't give up that many offensive rebounds. Felix, what was your thoughts on this one?
You said something so important, and I wish every single NBA coach in the modern era heard that. At a certain point, you can't keep settling for threes. You have to go after the board. And this is something we're going to mention DC Sports again. This is something that the Wizards needed to learn because in the games that they did win, in the times that they did have something going for them, they went for the high percentage shots. So when you keep going for the threes, sometimes you're underselling, undermining your own talent because you're not putting them in the best position to score. You got to attack the boards. Even though, okay, we're in an era where, okay, people trying to keep up with 3-point shooters. Guess what? 3-point shots, they're still low percentage. NBA players, they're not going 50 from the line. It's like that. That's not exactly what's happening. Mm-hmm. So going high percentage, like the Illini did in this case, it's still something that has value. And I really want to see more out of that in modern basketball because quite frankly, I hate to say it, that's part of why there's some really good teams throughout the sport that are unable to get anything going for them because they keep trying to shoot these 3-pointers, which are not designed to be high percentage, and they're taking away their own scoring opportunities.
Troy, what was your take on this game?
I told you last week, every other game ain't March, like we had talked about. Ultimately, they made the adjustment on defense. Mm-hmm. And through effort and through teamwork, that can be the best way to then spark the way that you're, trying to going forward. Now, one thing I liked about this game was they went down early to threes. And you would think, let me hit a three to respond back to get the momentum back on my side. The first bucket that they got was a 8-foot floater. They kept on taking the easy bucket, which then led to the opening more space from the outside because they had to respect the drive and they had to respect the pass to the big man. So I'm looking at it as if they're going to keep doing this, they actually have a shot to do something major because they have the size to be able to bully people. They just got to keep the same intensity and they'll be fine.
Their Final Four. After years of disappointment in the Big Dance, the Big Ten has been a no-show until 2026, where they posted 6 teams, count them, Felix, 6 teams in the Sweet 16. However, Purdue ran out of gas against a top-ranked Arizona team. And this Arizona ain't no joke, man. Losing 79-64. Purdue outplayed them in the first half. For the first time since 2001, the Wildcats are Final Four bound. They beat a veteran Purdue team led by its own talented freshman, I should say, in one more than one. Braden Berries scored 14. Yvonne Kartove had 18, and Koa Peets had 20 points, combining for a total of 52 points from their young stars. Senior guard Jaden Bradley added 14, and it was just too much firepower for the Boilermakers. What was your take on this one, Troy?
Arizona's just a better team. Uh, you know, kudos to Braylon Smith for becoming the NCAA leader in assists. But ultimately, when it came down to it, they woke up after the first half. They came out slow, and Arizona just put BTA on Purdue. So I'm looking at it as they continue to go through, they're going to be a big problem, in the Final Four. So yeah, the win.
Felix, what's your take on this one?
Yeah, I think Troy pretty much hit the nail on the head with this one. Especially talking about Arizona. I would say that ah, I would say that this is again Purdue. They did this is a team that really exceeded expectations this year, so I give them credit. But Arizona, like you said, when you just go up against a team as good as Arizona, it's pretty cut and dry. They just outplayed Purdue. That's it.
Felix, I don't know if they exceeded expectations. I think people are forgetting that in the preseason number one team was Purdue. Purdue was picked to be the number one team when the season started. So I don't think they overachieved. I thought they had great seniorship. They had a great run. They won the Big Ten tournament. They made it to the Elite-8. But I don't think they overachieved. I don't think they underachieved either. Like Troy said, I just think the better team won. I think that's all it was. Let's get to the fourth Big Ten team. The Michigan Wolverines beat the Tennessee Volunteers like they had no business being in the Elite-8. They blew Tennessee out 95-62 to advance to the Final Four as the Big Ten has landed two teams in the Final Four after failing for years, joining Illinois, where the Wolverines improved to 35-3 overall and hit a gear that maybe only Arizona can match. Well, good, because that's who they're getting in the Final Four. They went on a 21-0. They scored 3 touchdowns in a row to take a 35-16 lead. Tennessee went scoreless for 6 minutes. Yaxel Lundenborg, you got to love that name. Yaxel Lundenborg continues to push for player of the year as he's literally turning into the Marvel character Wolverine. Okay. He's averaging 25 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists in the tournament. Those are numbers that would make him the MOP of the tournament. If Elliot Cadeau, CJ Stroud, doesn't turn the ball over, Michigan is going to be tough to beat. They'll go as far as their point guard takes them. I've been saying that all season. Michigan is going to go as far as their point guard takes them. If he doesn't turn the ball over and makes his free throws and he does what he's supposed to do as a point guard, Michigan gonna be tough to beat, man. It's gonna be fun. So, hey, gang, let's pick our final four games. Okay, we're all set, and I got two of the teams I picked to actually make the final four. That's actually in there. We got number 3 Illinois versus number 2 UConn on Saturday, April 4th, and that game's gonna be at 6:09 p.m. Let's go right there. Troy, who do you like in this game? Illinois and UConn. Tell me why.
I like UConn based off of experience. This team again has been here. They've been here recently, right?
Mhm.
Illinois hasn't seen this limelight in a very long time, and I feel as if even though they got a size advantage in regards to experience and just being able to take advantage of the moment, I think the momentum's in UConn's favor. So I say UConn.
Okay, Felix, who do you like? Illinois and UConn.
I also agree with UConn because, again, I'd say this for Illinois. Definitely, I enjoyed seeing what they were able to put together this year. But at the same time, UConn, they're an elite program. I think they just, again, I'm taking nothing away from Illinois, but they're just going to be completely outmatched. And the fact of the matter is, I've seen how UConn went up against some of the best teams in the tournament. And I mean, I'd say Duke is an example. So I would just think that they're battle tested. This is a team that's gone up against some of the best. They are among the best. And I don't really have any reason to believe that there's anyone in this tournament that could stop them at this point.
Okay. All right. Listen, you guys do know that UConn played Illinois earlier in the year and UConn took them down. Did you guys realize that?
No, I didn't.
Yes,
Fair.
UConn played Illinois early in the season, and UConn took them down. Listen, Illinois is going to beat UConn in the Final Four. Uh,
Hey, Dad.
I hope
Illinois,
so.
what?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Illinois has trouble with other teams in the Big Ten, but teams outside of the Big Ten, they haven't seen Illinois. And when UConn played Illinois, Troy and Felix, Keaton Wagler wasn't the man. We all forget that Keaton Wagler was a freshman that they thought who was going to red shirt. He wasn't even supposed to be the star of the team. And now he's not only is he the star of the team, but they're talking about him being a lottery pick for the NBA. And boy, I sure hope he don't do that, because as much as I like him, he ain't ready for the NBA. But teams outside of the Big Ten, they haven't seen Illinois. And man, listen, Illinois is out rebounding everybody. The only school in the nation that out Illinois was Tennessee. That's why Tennessee was winning, because they was getting all those rebounds. Uh, Illinois is going to beat UConn. Tom the Bomb's taking Illinois over UConn in this one. Troy and Felix taking UConn.
Yeah. Hey,
Go
Dad,
ahead.
can I give a quick shout out, Illinois shout out really quickly?
Absolutely.
So this is a sidebar. So at my job at Golf Tech, I have a student by the name of Midian Evans, and Mr. Evans, his grandmother, her name is Mardell Bosefield. Mardell Bosefield was the first African American woman to graduate from the University of Illinois,
Wow.
and the first African American school principal within the Chicago Public Schools district. She was born in 1885 and passed on and went to the Lord in 1971 of October 14th. So the fact that her grandson is my student, I just wanted to, I talked to him about that earlier, and I said that, with this, blessing, I would shout her out. And he said definitely. So I just wanted to do that.
Hey, it's Women's Watch. That's awesome, Troy. Way to go, Troy. Come on, Felix. What's up, man? Felix, you got to get out of the mustard and catch up.
Hey, leave him alone. Stop.
Yeah,
Now
well,
that was a beautiful tribute, though.
you boys like them Boozer brothers. Let's get to our second game. The second game will be the heavyweight matchup. This is the thriller in Manila. This is Frazier versus Ali. Frazier goes Michigan #1 versus Arizona #1. Saturday, April 4th at 8:49. I'm going to go first on this one. I think Michigan beats Arizona. I think Frazier goes down. Frazier goes down. I'm taking Michigan in this one. Felix, who do you like?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go with Michigan. Definitely going with Michigan.
Are you really? Wow, that surprises me, because I picked Arizona to I picked Arizona to cut the nets down, but I'm going with Michigan. Felix likes Michigan too. Troy, Michigan, Arizona. Tell us why and who.
Arizona, definitely Arizona, in my opinion. And the reason why is because you made it clear earlier. If Elliot Cadeau don't turn the ball over, Michigan gonna be in a good position. Well, guess what?
Yeah,
That boy's gonna turn the ball over against Arizona. Arizona gonna make sure that he gonna feel it,
and
right? And the great thing about Arizona is they really 10 deep. They just choose to go
they
8
are.
deep,
Yeah,
right? So if they need to, they can go to their bench and they can come in and handle business, right? But I look at Arizona, I feel like just as a whole, they're a little bit more experienced to be able to get this done in this position. I think nerves and turnovers are gonna, hurt Michigan.
Troy, I believe you got me on that one. I believe you got me. That Elliot Cadeau is our Achilles heel, man. But you know what, man? I'm looking for a Big Ten national championship with Michigan and Illinois. That's what I'm looking. Who's doing T? Hey, gang, it's time for a commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Window Nation is on the Morgan's home turf to huddle up about replacing their drafty old windows.
This free estimate is showing how easy it is to tackle the problem.
We can get any of these windows custom made.
Yes, you can get the quality and style you really want.
And at a more affordable price than they ever imagined.
Now that they've sealed the deal, they'll be saving money year-round.
We're really confident with Window Nation.
Get your free estimate today and get 60% off all windows plus no interest or payments for 24 months at getwindownation.com.
Sheltered by the Sea of Cortez, Danzante Bay is a pure and peaceful oasis, an uncrowded retreat where your options are as vast as your views. If you're seeking a vacation that defines luxury and the true relaxation, look no further than Villa del Palmar at the islands of Loreto. A splendor of true Mexican hospitality effortlessly blends with rich materials and insatiable comforts to bring guests the ideal home away from home experience. With its quiet beaches, scenic vistas, rich history, and an astounding surrounding natural habitat, you'll feel as though you've been swept off to paradise. Not to be outdone, Reese Jones has crafted TPC Danzante Bay, a brilliant, multi-themed 18-hole golf course that runs over and through valleys, arroyos, dunes, and foothills. From every angle, striking images of the islands of Loreto and the surrounding mountain range take your breath away, while the challenging yet rewarding Baja golf course beckons you to return for more. It is an honor and my pleasure to welcome you to the world's most beautiful sunset and so much more.
And we're back. We're starting off with the women's Elite-8, and which we're going to lead up to the Final Four. Let's talk about UConn. UConn defeated Notre Dame 70-52. The Huskies continued their dominant run with standout performances from Sarah Big Game Strong and young Williams' favorite college player, A.Z. Fudd. He loves A.Z. Fudd. Fudd around and find out if you want to. And freshman Blanca Quinones in their win over Notre Dame. Uh, the Huskies are rolling, man. They are absolutely rolling. Gino got them right where they need to be, and man, they looking good. They knocking on the door hard, man. What was you guys? You guys got any comments on Connecticut and Notre Dame? Mainly Connecticut, because they really took it to them. What do you guys think about the Huskies this year? Either one of you guys.
One thing I'll say about UConn is, again, just like the men, they're used to being in this scenario around this time of year. So experience is definitely on their side. The way that they win games is phenomenal. They're winning games by double digits in the Elite-8, and I'm looking at them as this game next week. Well, not next week. This next game against who I think is going to be South Carolina.
Mhm.
They're going to be going up against, something strong. So I feel like everything that they've done so far has led up to this moment. They should be doing good.
I'll be watching that game. Felix, UConn has a chance to win the national championship on the men and the women's side. That sounds like East St. Louis to me. What's your thoughts on that, Felix?
Definitely. And again, it just shows that UConn, it's a college that's done a great job with its athletic program on both ends. So, of course, UConn, they're no strangers. They're perennials when it comes to these late tournament runs for both the men's and the women's teams. So, of course, like Troy just said, the big challenge is going to be South Carolina. I mean, this team is also no stranger to being at this point in the tournament. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that they won the tournament twice in the last few years. So, this is definitely something to look out for. So I would definitely say that in terms of who the biggest threat is to UConn right now, it's South Carolina, and I don't really see anyone else.
Well,
maybe, yeah.
Both of you guys had already put South Carolina in the Final Four. They got a game tonight. They ain't even there yet. We gonna get to that. Y'all got the cart before the horse.
Look, it ain't a matter of if South Carolina going to win. It's how much South Carolina going to win by.
All right. Then we got UCLA's power and size proved to be just too much for the Lady Blue Devils. So the Duke Blue Devils, men and women, they go out in the same round. The Lady Blue Devils, they were game for the first half, but Lauren Betts, the Shaq of women's college basketball, she just had her way in the second half, man. She was like, you know what? I'm too big and strong. They can't stop me. The Bruins reached their second straight Elite-8, relying on their size and their defensive pressure to overwhelm Dr. Lawrence Duke Blue Devils again. Okay. In tonight's game, we got number 1 Texas versus number 2 Michigan. So listen, Michigan has a chance to win the national championship on the men and the women's side. And you guys say Michigan ain't got a chance, though, right? But hey, isn't that something? UConn and Michigan on both the women and men's side. That game has already kicked off 7 p.m. Eastern. It's on ESPN right now. Texas, led by Madison Booker, reached their third straight Elite-8 after defeating Kentucky 76-54. Texas has bulldozed through the month of March. Meanwhile, Michigan beat number 3 Louisville 71-52 to reach tonight's game. The Lady Wolverines used their press to disrupt Louisville's rhythm, and they flipped the script with that change of tempo in the game, and leading to 2 major runs that got them to the winner's circle. And the winner of this game will take on the UCLA Bruins, while either South Carolina or TCU will take on undefeated UConn Huskies on the other side of the brackets. South Carolina and TCU will tip off at 9 p.m. That's also going to be on ESPN tonight. So there we go. All righty. Let's talk some baseball. We got opening. We got it in. Major League Baseball opened up this week. And real quick, Phyllis, let's just go through the power rankings. It's early, so let's just start at the top. Number 1 in the power rankings is the Dodgers. And Felix, the Dodgers are going to go 162-0. They're not going to lose a single game. And we should just cancel the whole season right now. We just they're not going to lose a game. They're going to go 162. Then we got Felix. What's your thoughts on the Dodgers?
I mean, effectively, that's the truth. I mean, the Dodgers, they're basically the same team that they were last year. I would say the only thing is, I would say that they're pretty much a shoe-in to take the NL. I mean, barring something. Now, here's the thing. I've seen the Blue Jays. This is a team that no one considered really that had a chance going into the last year, but they took the Dodgers to their limit. So I will say this, there are teams out there that could still give the Dodgers a challenge. And again, the Blue Jays were a team we didn't really put up there. But I'd say right now, you can look at teams like Atlanta. They were kind of out of the conversation last year. They have Strider and Acuna back. I'm not sure how rusty they are coming back in after an injury, how long it's going to take for team chemistry to gel back in. But you're still going to have the Dodgers out there. You're still going to have, perhaps the Baltimore Orioles. I mean,
I got the O's in the top 10. They're going to come back. I got the O's in the top 10. I think they're going to have a bounce back year. Troy.
All right.
Troy, let me tell you what the Dodgers are doing. Listen, I used to play spades with your Aunt Mignon, and she would shuffle and deal the cards, and she would get every single spade in her hand. She was cheating. How do you get every single spade in your hand in spades? That's what the Dodgers are doing right now, man. They cheating. Number 2, we got the Blue Jays. Dylan Cease struck out 12 batters. At number 3, we got the Yankees. They're the Yankees. They got Judge. They're going to be there. Number 4, we got the Brewers. The Brew Crew is back and still the cream in the Central. Who's balling tea? Number 5, we got the Tigers. The Tigers got pitching and pitching and pitching. They're going to be there. Number 6, we got the Mariners. I love picking up Brendan Donovan. They needed him last year. They might could have got past Dodgers with Brendan Donovan. Number 7, I got the Braves. They got too much talent not to contend, Felix. Number 8, we got the Mets. Like the Braves, they got too much talent and too much money. The Mets, the Mets are the Dodgers on the East Coast, and the Yankees. Like I said, at number 9, I got the Orioles bouncing back for the season, and the Cubs. I'm not a Cub fan nor a Bud man, but I still think they'll be in it. My dark horse, I got the Philadelphia Phillies. They're my dark horse in the National League. What do you guys think of that top 10 power rankings?
That's solid. That's definitely solid. And the Orioles, again, they're a team that didn't do too well last year. That was mostly because their pitching rotation was depleted by injury. So I think that coming back in, they're calling up some of their stars from the farm system. And again, the last few seasons, they had the best farm system in the league. So the Orioles are definitely up and coming. Mariners, they really could have beaten the Blue Jays. That was a close series. And the Blue Jays, again, they took the Dodgers to their limit. So, and shout out to the Brewers, 14 runs in the opening day.
The Brew Crew, that's what they do. The Brew Crew like the mafia in the Midwest, man. They just quietly take you out, man. So Troy, you got to let me and Felix be happy, because right now, the Washington Nationals have a winning record, and my St. Louis Cardinals have a winning record. So you just got to let us be happy for this week right now, okay?
I ain't mad at y'all.
my St. Louis Cardinals traded everybody. They got a lineup full of babies, and let's see if these babies can play, man. Because St. Louis is so uppity, that they don't believe, they don't think that they ain't never supposed to rebuild. But at some point, every organization's got to rebuild, and they got the youngest lineup that I've seen in the last 55 years. Let's see if these kids can play. I'm all for it. They ain't got no pressure on them, Felix. Everybody's expecting them to tank. Troy said they was like what 700 to nothing or something like that. Troy in the betting. I, I don't,
Plus 700. Yeah.
yeah, so ain't nobody expected nothing from them. But I'm gonna tell you one thing about having young guys. They don't know that they ain't supposed to be good. They trying to prove themselves. So let them go. Let's see. Let's give these guys. Let's give Jordan Walker a 500-600 at bats. Let's get Norman Gorman 500 at bats. The new rookie JJ Weatherthal. He looks like he's the real deal. Let's see if these kids can play. The Washington Nationals have been doing that for years. Felix, what's your take on your Nationals? You got to tell us about your Nationals, Felix. Can't let you go
I've
without
been
that.
waiting for you to ask me about the Nationals. Going up against the Chicago Cubs, a team considered to have one of the best defenses in the MLB 2025. The Nationals, on average, had 6 runs in that series, including a 10-run opening day and a 6-run series closer. It was the weekend of Joey Wiemer. Of course, he had an explosive weekend. He actually had the first run of the season for the Nats. And I would say this all sounds good and dandy, but I'm not too hopeful just yet. Now I'm savoring the moment, of course, but I'm not too hopeful just yet. Why? Because here's the thing. I knew that this team had solid batting. I knew that the batting rotation, the offense can do something. What I still have my concern with is I am not sold on the pitching rotation just yet, because we also conversely gave up 10 runs in the second game of that series. Also, in that game that the Nats won, the first game, they gave up 4 runs. On average, they gave up almost as many runs as they scored on average in that series. So again, from what I can tell, this looks like the same Nationals teams from years past. So I don't know what to say just yet. I'm hoping they can make the right adjustments. Like I said, the Nats, like you put it, they need money, right?
Yeah, yeah. I know.
So
I know what to say.
yeah, so I'm just going to land the plane here and say shout out to the NL East.
Felix is gonna
First
land the
division.
plane. Felix is gonna land the plane. Troy, can you see Felix smiling, talking about his Nationals?
Yeah.
Listen, listen. We don't know what a national is, okay? So I got an idea here, Felix. Let me run this past you. Let me run this past you. We don't really know. Everything like teams have mascots, and we don't really know what a national is, exactly. But I think that the Washington Nationals should make Jim Carrey as their mascot, and he should come out every game and say, "So you're saying we got a chance?" So, so, so you're saying there's a chance? So I think the Washington Nationals should make Jim Carrey their mascot, and they should post all over the stadium. So you're saying we've got a chance? Go on, Felix. My Cardinals in the same boat with you, man. Hey, gang, let's say congratulations to Gary Woodland. Gary Woodland won the 2026 Texas Children's Houston Open, finishing at 21 under par to secure his first PGA Tour victory since undergoing brain surgery in 2023. He won by 5 strokes over Nikolai Hobart at the Memorial Park Golf Course, making an emotional comeback victory. The win now makes Woodland eligible for the Masters in 2 weeks. It was a win that seemed so improbable 30 months ago after undergoing brain surgery. Woodland took a 1-shot lead into the final round on Sunday and stretched it to 7 shots, and he coasted home for a victory that felt bigger than his U.S. Open title at Pebble Beach in 2019. He closed with a 3 under 67. It was very emotional as the gallery chanted his name coming down the 18th hole. Gary Woodland said, "We play an individual sport out here, but I wasn't alone today. Anyone struggling with something, I hope they see me and don't give up. Just keep fighting." Well said, Gary. Congratulations to you, sir. You are the Tom the Bomb Sports Talk is all about. Sometimes we win, but we lose. And sometimes we lose, but we win. So how we win and lose in life truly matters. You are a winner for sure today. Congratulations, Gary Woodley. All right, guys. I got a question just for you, Felix and Troy. I got a question just for you guys. This is y'all. This is y'all category. I need to hear you from this one. Okay, you guys. You guys ready? Now, if the Commanders get to the number seventh pick, and Caleb Downs, safety out of Ohio State, is still there, and shut down cornerback Mansour Delaney out of LSU, who ran a 4.38 40-yard dash, are still on the board, who are you taking? Felix.
That's tough right there. Hey Troy, you want to go first, man?
Well, all right. The lane is a big body corner that has wheels that can guard a 6'5" guy like Mike Evans. It can also guard like a Terry McLaurin style guy that's a little bit shorter. And I'm looking at it as, yeah, he got talent, but I've been saying Caleb Downs since the beginning of the season,
You have.
like before the
You
the
have.
season even
True to your
started.
word. You have.
So with that said, why go against the grain? I would still say Caleb Downs.
Okay. I feel you on that. And I think Caleb Downs is probably a generational type safety, but shut down cornerbacks that run 4.3s, those you'll find money on tree before you'll find those. You'll find money growing on the tree before you'll find those. Felix, what's your take on that?
Okay, I would say given the options given those options, I definitely go with the shutdown corner. I mean, I would say again, I had my own idea of what the Commanders should do with the draft, but I would say that if you can get a corner that's shut down to that extent, and that translates to the NFL success, I'd say why not? Of course, you'd want that, but again, I had my own ideas of what the Commanders should do in draft. But yeah,
Now, I should have put this out there. This is assuming that Jeremiah Love is already gone, because we are all in 100% agreement. If Jeremiah Love is on the board at 7, the Commanders better not waste 1 second in drafting Jeremiah Love. We all in agreement on that?
Yes.
Felix, are we in agreement on that?
yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Felix sound kind of like not a Democrat and not a Republican on that one. Okay. Felix, you hesitating. If Jeremiah Love is available at 7, you don't think the Commander should take him, Felix?
I would definitely take him. The only thing is, I would say this, I don't expect him to be, but if he is, absolutely take him. I mean,
I,
I was really, yeah, I was thinking team need, but again, like when you have someone that talented, you have to draft for the talent over the team need because again, I've said this before. There were other times where we felt happy with our running back situation and we passed up on a really good running back. Okay, I'll just name it 2007 with Adrian Peterson. I think Troy referenced that a few episodes ago.
yes, he did.
So, yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Felix. It's December, it's Christmas. The Washington is number 7. You can have anybody you want. Who are you taking? Who are you taking? Who would you want to see Washington take at number 7 if available? Let me ask you that. Oh, come on, you know.
Now you're making it between Jeremiah Love and a shutdown corner. I mean, I'm actually going to go with Jeremiah Love here because here's the thing. I It's tempting to take the corner, but I'm looking at our defensive scheme, and I was talking about corners very heavily. Like as a matter of fact, I was very ardent about the Commanders emphasizing corners. Then I stopped and I thought about it. Our defensive coordinator, when the system he ran in Minnesota, he didn't really need that in order to run the type of pass defense he had. You're saying number one in terms of yards allowed per game, points score, quarterback percentage per game. With that, you can just go ahead and just draft the talented running back at that. And again, when you have a legendary running back like that at that twin already dangerous passing offense, that takes the team to the next level and adds another dimension of threat. Kind of what Terrell Davis did for John Elway in the late '90s, if that makes sense.
Okay. Troy, close us out on this subject. What's your last thoughts on this, Troy?
At 7, of course, I would say Jeremiah Love. He's there, but again, like who's to say that Cardinal Tate can't be somebody we could think about? You keep talking about Ruben Bain. Why not Ruben Bain? So It's a lot of people. I just don't, again, I think Caleb Downs might get drafted before we even get to 7. I
I
hope he
agree.
doesn't.
I agree.
But at the same time, after all the people that we done picked up in free agency, like 2 months ago, this was a different combo.
Mm-hmm.
Now we talking about it after we done picked up all these guys. I'm looking at it as we really don't have too many like desperate needs.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are needs, but they're not like okay, if we don't draft the left tackle, we're in a bad position. If we don't draft the quarterback, we're not in that spot. So I think take the best available.
Well, believe it or not, they need a center, and Washington ain't going to take Ruben Bain because Felix don't like him and Felix tied in with the GM of the Commanders. But when Ruben Bain comes to Washington, I'm bringing him over your house, Felix. I'm gonna say that's the guy who didn't want you.
Wow.
Hey, gang, it's time for our second. It's time for our segment of the show called the Tom the Bomb Sportsman of the Week. We're a sports talk show from a Christian point of view, okay? And like I said, our theme has been always been, do you want to win at all costs? Because sometimes you win, but you lose, and sometimes you lose, but you win. So, how we win and lose in life truly matters. Okay. This whole month of March has been Women's Month, and we have been honoring our women, our mothers, our sisters. Hey, gang, like I said, this month, our Tom the Bomb Sportsman of the Week, Troy, you're going to like this, is Pastor Kit Brewington. Pastor Kit Brewington. Wow, I can say a lot. Pastor Kit Brewington was a beautiful reflection of faith and grace. She served with unwavering commitment, and her loving kindness was felt by all who encountered her. She didn't just speak about love, she lived it. Okay. Her love for the Word of God was the driving force of her life. Her faith anchored her, it guided her steps, and it shaped the way she loved and led. She reminded us to breathe in and breathe out. She used to tell us, Lord, she used to tell us, take a deep breath. She's always tell us to take a deep breath and to trust God fully and to find peace in his presence. Through her musical gift, oh Lord, she ushered everyone into worship with deep and sincerity. With wisdom and gentle guidance, she always pointed us back to Christ. Pastor Kit shared her love generously and led with compassion. She was truly a gift to us all. Um, Pastor Kit reminded me a lot of my own biological mom. She was very, very no nonsense, and she didn't like weak men. Oh, and and she would tell you what she thought too. She didn't care about hurting your feelings if it was going to get you on the right track. But that's our Sportsman of the Week, Pastor Kit Brewington. Amen. Hey, gang, it's time for our birthday shout outs. Happy birthday tribute to my big brother, Curtis Odell Woods. My man, my dude. This our dude, ain't it, Troy? Birthday shout out to our big brother, Curtis O. Woods. Yeah. Another brother. Listen, I'm blessed to have 7 brothers, and half of my family literally was born in the month of March. Man, we all love this dude. He was one of the funniest, and he was the best storyteller that I ever met. You would think you was sitting down watching a movie when he started telling you a story. Felix, my love for baseball comes from Curtis. Curtis would take me and Gus to 30 to 40 St. Louis Cardinal baseball games every year, Felix. And he would talk the game to me the full 9 innings, explaining what was happening, all the strategies of the game, while all alone, Gus was just eating hot dogs and popcorn. That's what Gus was doing, okay? That's my ninja. I, I thank God for your life, Curtis, helping make me the man I am today. When people see me, they see you. So to Curtis, Nate, Robert, James, Steve, and Marva, all of my siblings who have birthdays in the month of March. What did I just do? There we go. Birthdays in the month of March. Month. Man, we all love this dude. He was, like I say, he was one of just the funniest and best storytellers. Felix, Troy, tell us something about your uncle real quick, man.
I'll tell you what, that man could bowl. Man, I have fond memories of him and Uncle Gus going at it. Real laid back, real calm, cool, collected, very blunt, down to earth, but very, how do I put this, genuine.
Mhm.
Super smart,
Mhm.
loved by his family, adored by his family.
Mhm.
You know, leader. Um, served our country. Guy that's like stand up guy, take care of the family. I remember how you would tell me stories about how he would work at McDonald's and he'd come home with like 20 hamburgers, like 15 cheeseburgers and feed the whole family.
Yeah, man.
Just by, being able to take care of everybody, just being in that position. I know him and Uncle Nate were, the culprits of, the brotherhood and sisterhood on your side. So,
Mhm.
He's missed by many, and he was a good guy. He was, like I said, I don't really remember ever seeing him get out of character. I've never seen him really get in a position to where he lost his cool. He always maintained a calm presence. So, he's a good guy, and I miss him.
All righty. Happy heavenly birthday, Kurt. Man, I love you. Man, I love my family, Felix. I love my family. Man, it was fun growing up with all those brothers and sisters, Felix. 13. Count them. That's a baker's dozen. Let's get to our trivia question today. Are you guys ready? Okay. Who was the first NBA player to make $1 million in a single season? You want to take a shot at that, Felix?
Bill Russell.
Bill Russell. Good guess. Troy, you want to take a shot at it?
Jerry West.
Jerry West. Another good guess. Okay. The answer is Moses Malone and Bill Walton. Both Moses Malone and Bill Walton were the first to make $1 million in a single season, achieving this milestone in the 1979 and 1980 season. They're the first to make a million in what? Now, you had a good guess because Wilt Chamberlain was the first to make $100,000 in a season in 1965 and 1966. So Wilt Chamberlain was the first to make 100,000 in a year, and then James Big Game Worthy was the first to sign $1 million shoe deal in 1982. It wasn't Michael Jordan, it was actually James Worthy. All right. Hey, gang, that's our show for today. Felix and Troy, you guys got anything you want to say closing out?
Not necessarily, no, sir.
Okay. Felix, anything?
No.
All righty. Okay, hey gang, that's our show for tonight. Listen, I need to make another announcement. Our Friday night Grace devotionals are permanently moving to Saturday night at 7 p.m. So the Tom the Bomb Sports Show is moving to 7 p.m. on Mondays, but the Grace devotionals is moving from Friday night to Saturday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. As usual, Felix and Troy, you guys were on spot. You guys were excellent as usual. Thank you guys. I appreciate you so much. Listen, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe us on YouTube. And do me a favor and hit that like bell, please, and hit the engagement. Just say hi to us. That helps us out. If you're enjoying the content and you'd like to bless our ministry, you can sow into the Tom the Bomb Sports Talk by cash apping us at $ Tom the Bomb Sports Talk. Again, that's $ Tom the Bomb Sports Talk. And don't forget to check out our website at www.tomthebombsports.com. That's www.tomthebombsports.com. You can also email us at info@tomthebombsports.com. Hey, gang, for a dynamic and in-depth sports analysis and highlights for sports in the DMV and more, check out the Washington Sports Den on Saturdays on WBGR with my main man, Mr. Felix Bassey. His future's so bright. You got your shades on, Felix? I can't promise you if he's a Democrat. I can't promise you he's a Republican, but he gonna give you the sports. Okay, that's for sure. Man, time flies when you're having fun. We're out of time here, but we sure do thank you for spending your time with us. Look, we don't take that for granted. Listen, may the gates of heaven open. Breathe and pour out an abundance of blessings down on you that there won't be room enough to contain it as you live off the overflow and step boldly into the realm of grace. God wants to introduce you to abundance. You have no idea. He wants to introduce you to abundance. Remember, if you want it, you got to confess it with your mouth and believe it in your heart that Jesus died on the cross and that he rose on the third day, not necessarily a Thursday, just for you. Hey, gang, Tom the Bomb wants to leave you with a thought, okay? Duct tape may patch a lot of things, but three nails fixed everything. The Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. Remember, darkness cannot drive out light, darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. And hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. May God bless you. You guys have a good evening. Thanks a lot, Felix Troy. We'll see you guys next Monday, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, and 4 p.m. Pacific. Good night, folks.
This is your time, and you gon' shine, and you gon' shine, daughter of mine. This is your time, and you gon' shine, and you gon' shine.
Well, I'm coming out with a word in my mouth, filled with excitement to say what it's all about. For a long time, I've held this water in, let the floodgates open, let the miracles begin. I've prayed, and I've gone back 7 times, look again, cause the miracles of mine stir the water. I'm about to step in like the pool of Bethesda, let the healing begin.
Daughter of mine, this is your time, and you gon' shine, and you gon' shine. Daughter of mine, this is your time, and you gon' shine, and you gon' shine.
It took a minute to get my composure right. For years it seems like I've been fighting for my life. Confusing times when my days resemble nights. But now this eagle is about to take flight and soar out of darkness to its revelation light. Though the waves are rough, I step out my comfort zone to walk on water, cause I know I'm not alone. God's got my back and reminds me I'm his own. His words are sweet in my mouth, they taste like a honeycomb. And faith has opened up my eyes. I've been through the fire, tested and tried. As I study God's word, I finally realize that my purpose I have to visualize, to bring the unseen from the realm of under night until I walk into the fullness of a purpose-filled life. Cause I'm light. Yes, I am light, and I shine bright. I am an investment of the Lord Jesus Christ. Not only am I light, I am salt. When I enter in, I add flavor to it all. I bring truth, there's no dispute. Jesus is the vine, and in him I take root. I am the head, and not the tail. I'm an overcomer made free to prevail. A new design, a special kind. Ambassador followed by wonders and signs. I am light, and I give signs.